When I was growing up, there was nothing that I wanted more than to be in a relationship with a girl that I loved, that truly loved me back. I was a hopeless romantic, but try as I might, I could never really get a girl to be interested in me. I felt destined to be alone forever. Fortunately, I spent the next decade learning everything that I could about relationships, and over that time, I dated girls that younger me, you could only have dreamed of. And during that, I discovered that there were two key essential elements to having a girl fall for you. So, in this video, I'm going to talk you through exactly what they are so you can have the relationships that the hopeless romantic in you could have only dreamed of. So, firstly, love is an emotion. So there is no way you can logic yourself into this. There is nothing I could have done. There was no job title. There was no sense of fucking salary or IQ that was going to get this girl for me. Instead, it all came down to, how did I make her feel? And the way that we make girls feel is through mastering the art of connection. And the reason why this, the first element, is so special is because if you master the art of connection, it speaks to three areas in which we've been deprived in the modern day. Firstly, to master the art of connection, it begins with your ability to pay attention. We are all attention starved now. Social media has absolutely destroyed that the mobile phone sucked up all of your time. Think about how much time you would have spent playing with your siblings, just doing things, talking to your friends, going out, if you didn't have the luxury of social media and going on YouTube and doing all these things. If you consider attention like an economy, it used to flow around, we'd give it to each other, we'd spread it about. But now, technology just kind of came in and took a huge chunk of it. So now there's this just like deprivation everywhere of any attention. And girls feel this. So one of the ways that you can start to build a connection with them is through genuine attention. That means actually asking her questions, being genuinely curious to who she is. Because did you know how we value our relationships? Because it has nothing to do with how well we know them. It's actually all based off, we value our entire relationship off how well they know us. That is why people back in the day who would go to confession and speak to their priest would feel super connected to him because he would know all their deep, dark secrets, whilst they barely even knew his first name. Simply put, having that ability to genuinely take an interest in her, see her in a way, get her to open up in a way she hasn't before, will allow her the first step of feeling super connected to you. The second step of developing connection is social media. The second step is physical touch. We are all touch starved in the modern day. It is something that seems to have been like stripped away from us, and we no longer, I think COVID did a bad job on this, but this works for social and romantic like enterprises. It's like, I transformed my entire social life by just being confident enough to hug my friends and high five. It was a complete change, right, man? And it elevated the sense of our relationships because we are honestly Google it, we are biologically touch starved at this point. And if you can just get confident enough to hold someone's hand, to be able to physically connect with her, that is a massive thing for girls, and it will really increase her loving sort of feelings towards you. Then the final one, that is your ability to be vulnerable. Once again, I kind of put this on social media as well, that no one tends to show any vulnerability anymore. We all feel so heavily judged that if we do anything, we'll be judged on the internet forever, that we don't really put our real selves out in relationships. We put the representative out there, the one that we think people want to see. The issue is, again, especially in dating, the same way as dancing, men tend to take the lead. So if she feels like you're just kind of putting the representative out there, That's what she'll put out there. And this is kind of what tanked my first ever relationship, that I really was quite insecure. I had a lot of shame and didn't feel good about who I was as a person. I felt like she needed this kind of perfect person to be interested. So I pretended to be this perfect person. But that also meant she never really saw the real me. We never really had this deep sense of connection, because the thing is, people love your flaws. When you're able to speak to the fact that you're not perfect, like the girl that I date now, I think on our third date or something, I sung word for word in the car, Call Me Maybe, which was hyper embarrassing. One, song, I love that song, but whatever. I also can't sing. So I'm just willing to make a fool out of myself, and it encourages her to do the same. It means that I'm not just super uptight, and it allows her to feel relaxed and connected to me. These 3 points of just being able to get comfortable with physical touch, being able to pay attention, genuinely ask questions and be curious, at the same time as you're being vulnerable, you're telling her, like, I will happily offer up to girls on like a first date of how I was an absolute loser in school, and that I was at home baking cakes with my mum whilst everyone else I was out drinking, partying and like meeting girls. But I don't mind, because I've realised that when I do that, it kind of encourages others too, and we end up having this deeper bond together. And it's just nice to be able to see that real person. And that doesn't mean that you then just like vomit up all your deepest, darkest stories. There's obviously a level of skill that is involved with this, of just being able to reveal who you are in a way where you can own your own identity. But mastering the art of connection is easily the first element to be able to get a girl to really connect and start to fall in love with you. But it doesn't work without the second element, and that is mastering the art of telling the truth. Because a guy that can just do all of those things to be able to connect with a girl, but he's not very honest, he's not like very open with what his intentions are, these are your more like Machiavellian, sort of like fuckboy PUA archetypes that can really activate a girl and get her feeling for him. But she doesn't end up truly loving him, she becomes more infatuated. Because for a girl to truly love you, she kind of needs to feel safe and secure with you. And that comes from you being able to tell her the truth. And that means telling her the truth when sometimes it's not that great and it's not that comfortable. The amount of fuck-ups I have to admit to like the relationships that I get in, because I prioritize telling them the truth when I was wrong, when I argued that I was right, and then I realized, fuck, I was not actually right there at all. And I have to constantly reaffirm, just like, hey, this is what I want, this is what I'm going for. Being bold and strong enough to tell her the truth. It's what allows her, fundamentally, like picture this, like it allows her to kind of drop the armor. Because whilst you're still not really telling her the truth, maybe you're connecting, maybe you're smooth, maybe you're able to get her to open up a bit, but she'll never fully open up to you while she's got her guard up, because she doesn't trust you. So the two main elements of being able to get a girl to fall in love with you, it comes down to this. It's mastering that art of connection, and it comes down to telling her the truth. It builds her trust with you, it opens her up so she's ready to connect with you on that deeper level. So if you want to be out there, you are the hopeless romantic like me, these are the key elements. And as I said, I messed up hard on this in my first relationship, and it was because I didn't tell the truth, it was because I wasn't vulnerable, and that was all rooted in one single emotion that was coming up for me, that I tried to hide, that I think is the deadliest emotion for men by far, and it destroyed my relationships, and it will destroy yours as well. So if you want to be secure in your relationships going forward and not have this sneak up on you, then check out this video here where I speak to the deadliest emotion for men, the one that will always get in the way of you two truly falling in love with each other.